Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, depending on where you're watching us from. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. My name is Gladys, your host tonight. You are watching us live on Ubuntu channel and on Facebook. And kindly remember that we have Twitter, and remember to share with your friends, your family members, and encourage them to follow our page and also to subscribe, and kindly write in the chat box where you are watching us from. In the studio tonight, we have our guest, Evangelist Shabula, and also my co-host, Sunny. And today's topic, we have budgeting, finances in relationship. And as you know, everyone, that money is a touchy subject in a marriage, at work, with friendship. But today we are focusing mainly budgeting, financing in a marriage. I'll just give a quick definition of what is a budget. A budget is an estimation of revenue and expense over a period, which can be made by a person, it can be made by a group, it can be made by a business. But today, like I said, we are looking at a budget between two people in marriage. I would like to invite our guest today, Evangelist Shabula, the one who's got very rich profile. And he is a marriage counselor. And tonight we're going to have a chit chat also with the public. And remember that you can contribute in the language where you feel comfortable. Over to you, Evangelist. I would like you to welcome to the program.
Well, all right. Good evening to everybody that is watching. Good to know that you are tuned in to Ubuntu channel on the different mediums that you are watching us on. Remember that if you are catching us on Facebook, it's Ubuntu channel. Like the page. Do not only like, but make sure that you share with your family and friends so that each and every time that we are live right here, everybody gets the knowledge, everybody gets the teaching. It's a Thursday, in case you haven't noticed. Thursdays are all about teachings on Ubuntu channel. We talk about humanitarian works. Humanitarian works in what way? We talk about bringing through to you different topics of human nature, of human interest, as we get to talk about marriages, relationships, and all that deals in that different part like that. So if you're on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Do not only subscribe, but make sure that you hit the bell right there. Hit it, and after hitting it, make sure that you choose all so that every time that we are live, every time that we post everything and anything, you get notified that Ubuntu channel na posapoka video or bali live baliranda pali finef. Thank you so much, Gladys. Good evening to you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Lance, and it's good to see you. It's good to see your bright face. And welcome back again, Evangelist Shabula. Like I said, we're discussing today finance budgeting in marriages. Over to you, Evangelist.
I would like to greet each one of you, especially those who have joined for the first time. You are welcome on this channel. And not only welcome to listen, but also to make contributions by way of asking questions or just making comments. Thank you so much. The topic that we have today, finances and budgeting in the marriages. This is a very important program, which I would want to ask you, the husband, you, the wife, or you, the wife to be, or you, the husband to be, so that when that time comes, you will have an idea of how to handle finances in a marriage. Now, first of all, I'll start with the problems. Finances, we all know what finances are. These are monies that come into the family. And also these are monies that go outside the family. In other words, we're talking about the income and also the expenditure. The money that comes into the family and the money that goes out as a result of spendings. That's what we're talking about. Now, when we talk about finances again, we're talking about how to increase it, not only how to spend it, but also to make it, to have it, to increase it. So these are some of the areas that we are talking about. The other area we're talking about how to protect your money from being lost or from being misused as a result of not planning well, as a result of not budgeting. Sometimes you can budget, still end up, like somebody who didn't have a budget because you didn't stick to the budget, because you thought the budget was standing in your way, so you decided to do away with the budget. Now, let me start by how to increase money. Number one, if you are on a salary, you are working for Zambia, for example, you are working for Zambia Electricity Company, if you are in Zambia. If you are in the UK, you are working for British Telecoms Corporation. Now, if and your salary is, for example, is 200 pounds, let's put it 500 pounds per month. That is the money that you expect to have each month. And therefore, you should understand that it will not be possible for you to live with that 500 pounds. You have to increase your money. Anybody who is productive, anybody who wants to live a comfortable life will not depend on the salary of 500 pounds or whatever they get. You need to increase it. How do you increase it? You must look for ways you can raise more money for you to add on top of the 500. For example,
can you just hold your thought, Evangelist, on that one? You're saying that they can increase the money, and in today's economy, where it is very difficult to have a to get a job, and if somebody is getting that 500 pounds, and how can it affect the marriage? For example, if they cannot increase that budget, how can that man or woman increase that budget in order for it to balance?
Yes, what it is, first of all, you must understand that money is never enough. Money is not enough, but you can better your position. You can push your position to a higher height than where you are. So first of all, you go back to the past spendings. How have you lived in the past? What is it that is taking much of your money? Is it transport? Or is it just utilities? Or is it insurance? Or is it education? Is it medical expenses? So you start looking, you go through that and check and see which area takes much of your monies. And see if one, you can begin trimming your budget. If you were going for cinema every weekend, then it means that you have got to reduce from 4 times in a month to 2 times. Let
me just cut you short, Evangelist. Probably maybe my colleague has something to say before I say anything. Lance, I know that you are you're not in a marriage yet, but at least you are in a stable relationship. Do you have something to say before I contribute to Evangelist?
Well, definitely, the definition of what budgeting is, since it says budgeting is the process of creating a plan to spend your money, whether in a relationship or in a marriage. I think from the evangelist, I would love to know, why is budgeting so important in a marriage or in a relationship? But I would love us to stick in a marriage, because can be here or there, but why is budgeting so important in a marriage?
There's one thing that I want to bring out, Lance, which I want to add to your definition, and that is where we make a mistake. If we're going to say a budget is a plan on how you want to spend your money, that is the money coming in and the money going out, that definition will cause you to find yourself in troubles. To me, what you have said is just a cousin of a shopping list. What you have described to me, it is a shopping list, it's not a budget. Because a budget must also show where the money will come from. If you are going to you are talking about income, where will that money come from? Is it coming from the salary?
But Evangelist,
let me finish. Is it coming from the salary? Is it coming from the saloon? Is it coming from some other business? You know, it must show that all the monies that you are going to collect from different angles, that is what will form a budget. So in most cases, when we draw a budget, we must show where the money will come from. It's very important.
Evangelist, just to interrupt you a little bit, when you say that, yes, that's where you want to show where the money is coming from. But today, unfortunately, that you find that there's a lot of homes in their marriages, or in our marriages generally, that we lack some kind of communication, especially like for us women. We know that it's the man who goes out there to seek for food, and it's the man who brings money on the table. But we lack that kind of communication where we have to talk together and put up a budget. So when you say that we need to make a budget, yes, we need to make a budget, but we are lacking communication. Can you kindly highlight us on that one? Because it seems like it's a common problem in many homes.
Yes, this also brings me still to the same question that Lance asked. Why a budget is important in a marriage. Number one, it helps you control your spendings. Number two, it creates transparency in a marriage. Your wife will know how much you have, and she will know how much you have spent, and she will know how much has remained. So there is transparency. It also promotes trust, that the money is not being misused. You all, both of you, know where you are spending your money and what is taking much of your money. Those are some of the advantages. And then it also helps you, to be able to plan, sit down and plan how to increase your money. Because both of you be convinced that we do not have money, we need to increase our money in our home, either by starting a business, a small business, or doing an extra job, or selling some vitumbua, so that we can increase our monies. Because both of you agree, because you know exactly how you have spent the money. Now, she has talked of communication. Where there's no communication, there's no love. Where there's no love, there's no trust. Where there's no trust, it is confusion. Where there's confusion, there are fights, there are suspicions and doubts. And because of that, that marriage is bound to fail. And in most cases, the people who do that are men. In most cases, okay, they are men, because the man thinks that, you know, when he goes out to work, it is him who works and not the wife. By laws, I'm talking about Zambian law. By Zambian law, a woman, what you call a housewife is also a worker, just as you, Lance, who is in your office. Because the question is, who do you leave at home when you leave home? Who does what you want to be done? Anything that you want to be done, who does that? It is your wife. So according to the law, to the Zambian law, she is 50 and you are 50 in that area. So there must be communication. When there's no communication, there is confusion. There are problems. So I want to urge, especially you young people, to ensure that your wife knows how much you make if you're a businessman. And if there are extra businesses that you have, she must know all of it. If
Evangelist,
you are a worker,
Evangelist, can you kindly hold your thoughts? Can you kindly hold your thoughts? I just want to take you back when you talk of transparency, because in today's homes or today's marriages, you find that the woman and the man, they're both working. And then when we come to the issue of finances, for example, we have different accounts. You find that there's separate accounts, and you find that there's joint accounts, and you find that there's a combining of joint accounts. But I'll focus on the separate accounts. And are you telling me that when in this marriage we have separate accounts? Are you telling me that there is no transparency? Because where is there no love or there's no transparency because we have separate accounts? Because then my husband doesn't have access to my account. I don't have access to my husband's account. Does it mean then there's no love or there's no transparency?
Gladys, first of all, what is the reason for separate accounts? If your husband says, let's have separate accounts, the question would be, why separate accounts? Now, what does that mean? To me, as a counselor, I was taught that if we, for example, if we are going to have separate accounts, there must be a good reason for doing that. Is it that probably the husband is always out of town, that the wife may not be able to get the money? Or do they have to sign on the same check? Is it a checkbook? Is it a check leaf that they need to sign? Or is it just by, I don't understand? So for me, I think that is a recipe for troubles. The best thing that you can do, if you want to have separate accounts for whatever reason, your friend should have also access to the account. Okay. He should be able to. He should be able to visit the account, even without you knowing, and it should not affect you. You should be transparent to each other. There should not be hindrances in any way as you operate that account. You know, you must understand that, you know, in marriage, when you get married and you are handling finances or property, in most cases, we do this for our children and our grandchildren. Now, if you are doing this for the children and grandchildren, it means that both of you have got the interest of the children. Because if you are going to have separate accounts, you may end up starting assisting other women outside that marriage. You may also start assisting family members, even without the consent of your husband or your wife.
But Evangelist,
yes.
Evangelist, isn't it if you
Yes.
have a separate accounts, wouldn't it be easy, because you can have separate account and then you have a joint account, and where you have access, if the wife and the husband they are working, then you have this you have the combining joint account where the husband can have access to you can have access to each other's accounts. Should we, if we are getting into a relationship or we are getting married, should we start first negotiating about finances right to start with when you're getting in the marriage? Because I feel like this is what is going to bring problem, because this is what is breaking homes. It's mostly the finances and the budgeting. Do we have to say, okay, when we're getting into marriage, then we're going to have a joint account? Because I don't know if many of the people or marriages are having joint accounts.
Gladys, this topic that we have today, it is make or break in homes. This one, I've handled a lot of problems in marriages over finances. And especially young people like you with the modern thinking, digital thinking, you think that if we can have separate accounts, then we'll be sorting out a problem. Unless if you give me good reasons for you to have a separate account. You have not explained what is the reason for the separate account. Why not have a combined account that your wife should be able to withdraw and your husband should be able to withdraw? All you do is just inform each other, there's this issue that we have today, or whatever it is. This is our budget. In fact, I'll come to the budget here. This is our budget. You go and shop together. You go and shop, spending the money together and bring those items home together. So if the money finishes, you both know that the money is gone. So that the next question will be, what do we do to have more money? But if you are going to have a separate accounts, yes, they can help you, but separate accounts bring a lot of problems. I want to tell you, and I don't want you to go that way. I don't want to fall into troubles because of monies. Monies should strengthen your relationship. Monies should bring joy in the home, but money should not bring fights and doubts, and then divorce because of money. First of all, Gladys, tell me what is the reason for the separate account?
Evangelist, I would like to hear from Lance's opinion, because I'm going to give you my own opinion. I know that you're a marriage counselor, and somehow, somewhere, I'll differ with you in some points on the separate accounts. Being a woman, we normally think that the man has to go and work, and then we're going to come and spend their money. Normally it's our money, but it's my money when I'm working. The man has to spend. Well, I won't say much. Over to you, Lance. What's your opinion? The money is our money, but when it comes to spending, it's my money. It's my own account.
Okay, but anyway, I'm not going to go that route. Maybe let me take this route with Evangelist. Let's say, for example, budgeting is simply balancing your expenses with your income. If let's say this is the definition of budgeting, then let's talk about budget forecasting and planning. How can this happen in a marriage? Is it possible for budget forecasting and planning? Can I plan together with my wife? Can we budget with my wife? For 6 months, we say this is how much we are going to spend. This is how we are going to do it, or what? Is that possible in a marriage?
In fact, it is in a marriage where things are possible than in just a relationship. And two, Gladys, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. Facts will remain facts, whether we agree or not. It's like a bend. The road sign will indicate that there's a bend. Whether you agree or not, that sign will still show there's a bend. Now, listen. It is important to draw, it is possible to draw a budget in the marriage. What do you do? The marriage, you need to look at 3 things. Number 1, you must look at the needs of the wife first. All the things that she requires on her body. Then, the house. We're talking about food and others. Food, rent, electricity, water, gas, all those things. You put them aside. Then from there, you look at the needs of the children. What do children need? Money for school, transport, their transport, this and that and that and that for children. And all the time, where there is a good father, the needs of the father come last. They come last because him is the general of the home. So the father will indicate also, he also requires the transport, he requires fuel, he requires talk time, he requires money for lunch, he requires this and this, he has got, sometimes friends to meet. He must also have his pocket money. He must have pocket money. The wife must have also pocket money. We don't call it pocket money. We call it
Evangelist, hold your
money.
thoughts, Evangelist. Yes. I'm glad that you have
Yes.
used the word a good father, and I'm sure, I'm 100% sure that you are a good father, and you are one of those few good fathers. Because if you look at it, I mean, if we look at the reality,
I try first, Gladys. I'm not 100%, mind you.
Okay.
I'm a human being. I make mistakes, but I try. But
I'll believe what you're putting on the table. And
yes.
If we talk realistically, we'll say that not many actually women who even have the access to their husband's accounts, they don't even know how much the husband is earning. They don't even think about the wife's hair. They don't think about the clothing of the wife. They'll think about what kind of nice car, that BMW they are going to buy, that Mercedes they are going to buy, even probably borrow, even before they ask their wives. That's why I'm saying that it's good that you said a good father or a good husband, but those good husbands, they are very few. Over to you, Evangelist. Yes.
Yeah, Gladys, before Evangelist comes in, sorry, Evangelist Shabula, both of you hold your thoughts. Hold your fires. I know here it's more like we have a battle between a mother and a father, and I'm the child who's about to get into marriage and trying to understand all these things. But however, let's get to accommodate views that are coming through from people that are watching this broadcast live. And already we have Mama Chikamoneka on the line. Let's get to see if we can get a comment or a question from her. And then after that, Evangelist, I will allow you to answer. Okay, seems like she's gone. But Evangelist, as you are answering Gladys, this looks like, it's a marriage battle and not a relationship battle with me. But I still have my questions. Maybe accommodate Gladys, answer Gladys's question. But here is a call to everybody that is watching. Make sure that you get to come through via the link that we have provided for you on our social media platforms. So if you are watching from YouTube, in the comments box, we have put a link where you can join us live in the studio and share your comments and your contributions or ask your burning question. Just like on Facebook, we have also done the same, and also on Twitter. It's very simple and very easy. It is Ubuntu channel. So thank you so much for joining us, wherever that you are watching us from. Mukalevai, good evening. How are you doing today? I can see that you are through. How are you doing? We are discussing, today we are discussing finance or finances and budgeting in not a relationship. Let's talk about marriage. I'd rather we deal it on a more upper level, marriages, and then relationships. It's up to people that are dating, boyfriend and girlfriend, to see if maybe I can sponsor my girlfriend for nails, or maybe I can tell my guy to go for barber and everything. But let's deal with it on a marriage level. Mkaleba, over to you.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Kimanzibwan is Chavasahesu. Chavasavulozi. Kaufela. Vatilutozi hande, kihande. It's a wonderful topic. Well, let me just dive into this issue. What I can only say myself is that culture plays a very pivotal role in all these kind of decisions that you may want to have with your spouse. Today, in our modern days, when a couple is married and you find that there's no more dependency syndrome, where a woman depends on a husband solely on their one income. But in a modern society where a woman is just a businesswoman and a man is also doing some work as well, or both couples, they are working, yes, there will be issues where finances has to be discussed. And that is why in developed countries, or even in Zambia, you will have a provision in the law where you have to either make your partner or agree and sign some kind of prenuptial agreement where you are going to declare certain properties that you have acquired while living on your own. And that now that you have found a partner, should that partner be part and parcel of the properties that she or he found you already have? So the law is clear there. You can agree and you can disagree, but there's no way when you have this mentality of uma omenga angupa then afuire anchita supply fiance, it is coming from him. And that is where now you will find a lot of issues. Ama problems ya amba mufiopo. Yes, you can agree with your husband or with your wife to have, first of all, you calculate and see how much expenses that you may be having in your matrimonial home, the things that you need, the mortgages or car bills and everything that you may purchase, or even building a property. And you look at your income, both your wife and your husband, and then you sit down together and say, how much can each and everyone, can each contribute towards our running of a home together, not at the one side. Just because you are a man, then you have to foot the bill. If you want, that's okay. It is your prerogative. You want to show your masculinity. Yes, you can go ahead and take over and tell your wife, keep your money, I will provide for you because the Bible or our customs say so. But in reality, legally speaking, you have the right to sit down as a couple and enjoy and discuss on how you share your expenses. And then once you contribute your money,
sorry, your time is up.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me just finish up this point.
Your
time was 90 seconds.
We can just so that we can put on somebody. Just finish up within less than a minute, please.
The monies that you contribute as a couple, that is the money for your expenses in the home, and then there will be extra money that you're going to have, and that's the money that you will keep for yourself, for your own personal need, that you don't have to wait for your partner to tell you, I want this, I want that. That's your identity, and that's your property, and nobody can take away that. You cannot even tell your husband. If you want, you can't even tell your husband your what's this, the password for your account or whatever. It's yours for as long as you are able to contribute equitably or whatever amount that you agree upon. That is what you call mutual agreement.
Thank you for your contribution, Bamkelevai.
But Mozambique, kuko sapo. Sorry.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much, and I'll pick it up from where you left. And it seems like when getting into a relationship, there has to be some kind of agreement. Nowadays, I think for me, it's to look out. Women out there who are singles probably look out for somebody who has a personal responsibility that you meet me halfway, I'll meet you halfway. That's just my main opinion, even though Evangelist has a different opinion, probably. Over to you, Evangelist.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Evangelist, just be taking note of what our contributors are saying so that you can respond to them. So, first of all, Gladys. Gladys, first of all, had a question. Yes, Gladys had a question which you have to respond to, and then Mukelavai has raised quite a number of issues which you have to respond to. But let's get to read a few messages that have come in, and then you get to respond to those as well. So Lunda Linda Kapekele says, when I was unemployed, my husband used to buy everything at home. So one time he bought a cow with his friends and shared equally with his friends. Since he never told me about it, I never bothered to check his car when he came back home, zero number. Okay, yes, zero number. 2 days later, there was a strong smell coming from my car. When I went to check, I found rotten meat. From that day forth, he gave me his ATM, and that's when we started budgeting together and buying things. Okay, this is very interesting. Now I hope Evangelist has seen this. Yeah, let's get to read another message coming through. All right, Laura, good evening. How about those men? Evangelist, please take note. Good evening. How about those men and women who don't declare all the sources of income to each other? Guys, declaring all sources of income. Okay. We'll think about that. Carol says, the Bible says when you get married, you become one. So why having two separate accounts? Gladys, you should tell us why having two separate accounts. The Bible says we are one. Judy says, I would like to know how many couples in Africa who don't work that have the access to their husband's accounts. Okay, thank you so much, Jude. Okay, that's the same message. Let's move to another message if we have any. Remember that if you are watching us from whichever platform,
yeah, it seems that
you're watching us from, send us a message. Okay, sorry about that. So Mubanga says the issue of accounts depends the type of marriage. If you are married in community of property, one account is a must, but you can have a joint account even in this type of the account. Out of community of property, husband and wife have separate accounts, but they must have a joint account for family in which they put money for the support of family. Or all husband and wife must have separate accounts for their separate needs. Okay, me, I'm lost here. I think Evangelist kindly shed more light. Mubanga has lost me on this one. We'll get more messages, but quickly respond on these ones that have come through. Start with Mubanga, please. I would love to understand what he's talking about.
Well, Mubanga is talking about having separate accounts, that you can have separate accounts and also a joint account. Basically, that's what he's talking about. Now, I want to get back to Mukelevai. Dear friends, I'm sitting here as a counselor to point you to what must be done in order for you to have a stable marriage that will get you into old age. 2, exposure also can affect your marriage. Certain things that we're exposed to, they seem to be good, but do not really help us. And that is why a lot, if you check, you go by figures, you look at the divorce rates between Africa and America, Africa and Europe. You'll find that most African marriages are stable. Not because women are intimidated, even if that, I also agree that that can also be one of the reasons. But the issue is being digital sometimes can create problems. Now, I am basing my argument on the word of God. The Bible says the two shall be one. And in Genesis 2 verse 25, they were both naked and none was ashamed. What was God dealing with at creation? He was dealing with the issue of transparency. He was dealing with the issue of honesty. He was dealing with the issue of trust me and I'll trust you. The issue of deciding of whether this money, like the way he said, from the word go, you can agree whether this money, my wife can be part of the things that she found me with, or my husband can be part of the property that she found me with. That is Western education. It's Western culture. In Africa, and also the Bible, Africa and the Bible, what I have belongs to me and the person that I've married. I will not say that, no, first of all, let's work together, then what we are going to get, that is what will be ours. No, I will not do that. But for you young people, to you, that is being modern. When you think like that and act like that, it is modern. That's why you have got a lot of problems because of that modernity, which brings the chaos in the family. First of all, the Bible talks of a husband as a provider. And it talks of a wife as a helpmeet. Now, there are two scenarios here, Professor. There's one, a wife who is working and a husband who is working. In other words, both partners are working. These people, when they bring their money, for example, the husband gets $2,000 and the wife is getting $1,000. When these people get paid, they must bring their monies together with the pay slip. Pay slip together and the money put on the table. Total, they've got 3,000 kwacha. 3,000 kwacha becomes their budget. And from there, they'll be able to plan, we need to build a house from the 3,000 kwacha. We need to do this to help our parents, to help our friends, to donate to the charity from the 3,000 kwacha. It is like the Fanta and the Coca-Cola. You mix it together. You are not going to have a Fanta Coca-Cola relationship. You just have a drink. And you will not know whose money has done what, because you put the money together. That becomes communal. It becomes our money. Now, the issue of you go and declare to say, no, before I married, my wife is Mutinta. Before I married Mutinta, I had 2,000 animals. Then I say, oh, these 2,000 animals are not for Mutinta. Then from there, Mutinta says, before I married the Evangelist, I had 5 buildings worth 5 million. So this is not for whatever it is. Then from there, I want to ask you, then where are we going to have our own money? Where is it going to come from? Are you going to get a loan? Am I going to get a loan? That is a source of problems.
Okay, just hold your thought there. Let's get to see if we can accommodate Mama Chika Monica to also contribute her thoughts or obviously ask her question. Mama Chika Monica, good evening. Good evening, Mama Chika Monica. Kindly unmute your mic. Okay, we seem to have network issues there. Maybe let's get to see if we can also accommodate Nyachisengu if she is available. Let's get to see. Nyachisengu, hi, how are you doing today?
Well, hello. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Reverend. Wonderful program, as usual. So, yes, budgets and finances in marriages, my gosh, what a big, topic. One thing that I can say is that when it comes to decision-making in a marriage, a husband and wife have got to sit together, and for a woman to be able to make those proper decisions in this marriage, it comes with education. I'm not saying somebody needs to have a degree. No, somebody has got to be, well informed, for you to be able to make those decisions. I don't believe a man, and I can tell you my own situation. My husband has got his own account. I have my own account. We've got a communal account. I don't check on what my husband does. He doesn't check on what I do. I do whatever I do because, I know I'm making the decision for the family. Yes, at a certain stage, my husband has got to kind of put his hand on my shoulder and go, hang on a minute, young lady, where are you going? I probably want to buy another car. Yes, I am. My husband is not even interested in any cars, but I am the person that would spend more. But having said that, it comes with age. I think I've become better with age. And also I'd like to, advise some people that have problems in that area that, well, you know what, these decisions have got to be made in a family, together, and yes, declaring income from every angle. Yeah, I think that's number one, especially with us. It doesn't have to just be women, everybody. It's for you, if you want your marriage to last longer, yeah, those are my points, I think, for tonight. Thank you.
All right, Nyachisengu, thank you so much. Gladys, I know you want to come in. I know you have issues with separate accounts and thingy. Please come in here.
I have not necessarily that I have issues. It's also because when two people are working, you have your own account. You can't have a joint account. And like women, we have a tendency of, we are big spenders, more or less. So that's why I feel like there has to be two accounts whereby you have the joint account and you have the separate account. It's easy. You can be transparent still, that it's easy for you to bring, you go 50-50. Of course, you just use your common sense that I have to contribute to the family. You go 50-50, or even if it's not 50-50, at least you get something and put on the table. You can't wait for the husband to say, let the husband just do everything. And for example, if you have a mortgage, if you have a big spender, by Evangelist, as women, mukatanga twalija nenda n'amashaka kulipirenganga yonse mortgage, twalishitama skuna yonse, twalishitama lipstick, everything. So maybe it's, for me, I feel it's a good idea to have a joint account separately, and you have an account and you have account, and you can have access to each other's account, so that you know that this joint account is safe and we don't touch it. We only touch it for the budget purposes. And then your account is your account. You receive money from where you're working. I receive money from where I'm working. And when you bring in money, I bring in money, we're bringing in together and then move it to the joint account. They still can be a transparent. Transparent.
Okay.
Over to you.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Let's try to see if Mama Chikamonika is now available. Hi, good evening. Mama Chikamonika, hi. Okay, it seems like we still have internet. We still have internet challenges. But Evangelist, as you are responding to Gladys and Nyachi, I also want to bring in, this perspective. A woman is the one that is working in this marriage. She's the one that is working, and the man is not working in this marriage. Is it possible for a man to take part in making a budget for this family? He is not working, he is not employed, it's a woman that is employed. Can a man take part in the budgeting?
The answer is yes. Yes, 100% he has got the authority.
That is not his money.
80%, 90%. Eh?
That is not his money.
What did you say?
That is not his
money. What do you mean that is not his money?
He's depending on his wife.
Now listen. Listen. You know, that kind of attitude towards marriage is what destroys marriages. You know what? For example, Lance, you are not working and your wife is working. When your wife is working, you have the right to her money, what you call her money. It is not her money, it is your money, both of you. It is herself who leaves home to go and work on behalf of the family. When she goes out, because when you married that wife of yours, she's supposed to save the family. She's supposed to save the family, but she'll be out of home to go and attend to other duties there. Maybe she's a secretary, she's a nurse, she's a teacher. Whatever she gets, the gentleman has got 100% right to the money. And they will sit both of them to work out a budget. And the needs of the husband must be met just as much as the needs of the wife must be met. When she's not working, the husband must meet the needs of the wife. And also, when the husband is not working, the wife must meet the needs of the husband. And the husband must have even pocket money out of that money without having to ask for it. It is our money. It is not our money. I'm talking about the Bible. I'm not talking about being in America or being in UK. I'm talking about being in the Bible.
Evangelist, I'm not differing. I'm not arguing with you, but I just want to make a comment to say that yes, it is our money. If the man is not working, it is our money. But the problem we have, and I'm generalizing for all the women out there, probably we tend to, when the man is not working, the man also feels that develops the low self-esteem, and the woman becomes like the respect for the respect reduces from the woman's side to the man, and that man and the man will be probably be forced, and I think that will be a contribution factor for divorces, because it's like there's a broken vase. The vase is broken completely because that's ila respect abale mpero mwame awashu abana beka la fyapata basela no kusela indala mashaninga na fola bapita fyo ko kwina mpera ko ishaku ya mkunu ina chibuku na imonga mkambalisi okubomba. It is just the reality, and the woman who always say at nindala mashandi. But if it's the man who's working, the man who stay there and will be on the support side. Over to you.
Gladys,
Okay.
Gladys,
Evangelist. Sorry, Evangelist. Before you come in, Mukenabai is back. Mukenabai is back. I don't know if he wants to side with you or he wants to talk about the man is not working and the woman is working. Whose money is it? Mukenabai. It's an interesting discourse here. Let's get to hear
Reverend, I'll be very honest with you to say
Sure.
I know the conflicts between our African customary law and written or statutory laws. But what we need to understand is that
Yes.
these issues, no matter when we go to court for divorces, for example, you will find that there's always a lot of conflicts and a lot of heartaches, and especially when it comes to distribution of matrimonial properties. So that's why we know that in our African setup, yes, a girl child is brought up and educated in a manner in which she's told that a man is going to look after you, and whatever you are going to earn, whatever money you're going to acquire, it's just for yourself alone. But your husband, whatever he acquires, it's for you and him together. But that's not reality today. Yes, we understand the custom, and we understand that women have to be empowered as well. And most women are empowered today. They're educated. They are able to provide for their family. So it should not be an issue. The only best thing they could do is to sit down together and have a mutual agreement as a couple. Let us buy this. We need money. How do we source money? You have an income. How much income do you have? You agree mutually. Then once that is done, then you are going to find that your marriage is going to be peaceful because you are transparent in all your dealings. You know that each person is contributing, not one-sided. That's where the abuse it comes in, because men tend up to, after paying lobola, on top of that, support, on top of that, Mayo.
The lobola top, I know that
no,
it's
I was just giving an example.
No, I understand. It's a burning topic.
And the last thing is, sorry, my time is up. The last thing, Reverend, Jesus, was not introduced. It was introduced by who? To us Africans. I hear you saying, Western culture, we cannot bring the Western culture to our Jesus Christ. Who brought him to us? Was it Shaka Zulu?
So we're going to take it. It seems like it's a very, very hot topic, and I wish we could have much more time to debate and discuss, and God knows what. It's a very interesting topic, and it's a very wide topic. I can see that we are running out of time.
Yeah. But in running out of time, sorry, Gladys, in running out of time, let us just maybe accommodate Rafik, the last one, and then we allow Evangelist to respond. Rafik, hi, good evening. How are you doing? Can they unmute your mic? Okay, Rafik. Okay, anyway, due to time, Evangelist, you can pick it up. From what has been said, and then also let's wrap up the program.
Well, dear friends, what I can say about the issue of money, as you can see, this is exactly what happens in homes. Mm-hmm. If there can be this seesaw that we have up and down, even in homes, this is what happens. Money is an issue. Wherever you go, you don't come out, clean. You'll be hit because you talked about money. Now, what I can say is that, here we are looking at either, both people working or both people in business. These people, they need to contribute, both of them, towards the family budget. And two, if we are going to wait for them to contribute when they want, then it will not be right. You know, everyone must know that when I get paid, I'll get my salary and put it on the table. My husband will get the salary and put it on the table. Then we are going to work out a budget. So when that is done, it will create, you know, transparency. It will bring peace in the home. But if, in your opinion, you feel we need separate accounts and it works well for you, it does not bring problems. There are two things that I will tell you. One, well and good, go ahead with it. Go ahead with it if it doesn't bring problems. But be sure that in the later time, there will be problems out of the same. I know finances can be a source of problems. So if you want peace, be transparent with each other. If the husband is out of employment or the business is not doing fine, the wife should be able to support the husband fully and ensure that the husband has got also authority over that money. The wife will not say that, no, this is my money. No, that's not it. That is our money. We are husband and wife. If the husband is out, if the wife is out of employment and the wife is working, the husband is working or is in business, it is our money. It is their money together. If you try what I'm saying, it will save your marriage, guys. It will save your marriage. If you want to do it the other way, yes, it can also help you. But in the latter time, in the latter age, it will create problems for you. We have tried it, we have seen it. Now, the issue is that, you know, when you have got money, make sure that you do a budget. Because the budget will help you control your spendings. The budget will help you know where you are spending more money than other areas. The budget will bring transparency in your relationship. The budget will bring unity in your relationship. And the budget will bring balance in the way you help family members, your and the community that where you live in. So, because you should not forget to help the needy and the poor in your communities. So, when you have a budget, it will be easier. You'll be withdrawing from, I call it a pool budget, what you call combined budget. It's a pool budget. So, from the pool budget where you are pulling from, it will be able for you to handle all these issues, and there'll be peace of mind. But the issue is that you should also desire to increase your budget, your income. Don't depend on your salary. Do some other business. Do some other things that for you to increase your money. I, for one, here, I don't depend on my salary. I depend on. I have to. I do this and that and that and that. I'm quite a busy person, mind you. I do a lot of things so that I can have bread on my table. Life also does this and that so that we can increase our budget and have, you know, be able to enjoy our marriage. You know, when there's money in the home and when there's food in the home, marriage is sweeter. When there's no money in the home, it's Vietnam, it is Nagasaki and Hiroshima, because there's no money. There will be a lot of misunderstanding, and there will be no sex or less sex because you have no motivation. So let's do this, and we shall improve our lot. And a lot of people, you know, most of the quarrels that come there, people are short-tempered. They are short-tempered not because something has gone wrong, but because there's no money in the home. So you can only be happy if you increase.
Evangelist, at after all, tamuleta na bread panga na then muleta claim tumule fire sex kuchipinda. Anyway, that's all that we can accommodate for today.
Tamwa appetite ya kubombesha, but mwali kwa appetite ya sex sana imwe. So,
Evangelist, thank you so much. I mean, Evangelist, you really have to come back for this topic because it seems like it's very wide and there's a lot in it than just a budget. like viewers, we're running out of time, and I would say that I'll just give a little contribution that Evangelist is emphasizing on transparency, trust, honest, and the vital key to the budget is communication in a relationship. Lekeni ukufisa otumpia, lekeni ukufisa. Show your wives, show your husbands how much you are earning, and let them and get that not joint account, Navakanya joint account, Navakanya joint, I mean separate account, but we can go on and on and on and on. And well, we come to the end of this program. We come to the end of this program, and I hope you will join us again next time. This has been Ubuntu Channels. Kindly subscribe and follow our channel. Thank you so much, and we love you. Thank you.
Thank you.